And a very warm welcome to all of our panelists for this final discussion, and as you say, a fascinating one. Scaling Stories is the title, How African Nations Are Redefining Tourism for Growth. And there's a lot to unpick in that title. You've got scaling tourism, but more than just scaling, you've got redefining tourism, and then, of course, linking all that to the ultimate goal, economic growth. We're privileged to have an esteemed panel with us today. One note of housekeeping. Two of our speakers today will speak in French, and two of our speakers will speak in English. For our French speakers, my colleague Lubna has very kindly agreed to translate for us. Vos Excellences, bienvenue.
Merci.
Merci pour votre attendance. Alors, on poserait des questions en anglais et ma collègue Lubna traduira en français. So, let us begin. Your Excellency Amadou from Senegal. My question is this: how has your country, to quote the title of this panel discussion, redefined tourism for growth? And then what is the vision for the future?
Merci beaucoup aux autorités des Émirats arabes unis qui nous ont conviés à cet important forum. Nous les remercions pour l'accueil et l'hospitalité et remercions aussi les organisateurs. Le Sénégal, je remercie et je salue au passage mes collègues ministres qui sont présents avec nous. Le Sénégal a lancé, avec l'avènement du nouveau président Bassirou Diomaye Faye, un agenda de transformation. Et dans cet agenda de transformation Sénégal 2050, le tourisme joue un rôle important. Cela s'est traduit tout d'abord par un changement institutionnel avec la réunion du ministère du Tourisme, de la Culture et de l'Artisanat. Cela montre une nouvelle vision qui consiste à combiner, à créer des effets et des leviers, une chaîne de valeur entre la culture, le tourisme et l'artisanat. Le Sénégal se positionne aujourd'hui comme un pays stable, un pays politiquement stable, avec un cadre juridique qui est très sécure et qui a l'ambition, en organisant les Jeux olympiques de la jeunesse en 2026, de repositionner le pays comme un hub touristique important. Bien sûr, nous accueillons déjà de grandes chaînes d'hôtels comme Four Seasons, Rio Baobab et autres, et nous avons un potentiel énorme non encore exploité. Nous avons par exemple 700 km de côtes avec un ensoleillement quasiment annuel, et il n'y a que moins de 20 ou 30% de ces 700 km de côtes qui accueillent aujourd'hui des hôtels et des investisseurs. Donc nous avons tout ce potentiel, nous avons des artisans, une diversité culturelle extrêmement riche, nous avons des fleuves, nous avons une végétation diversifiée. Maintenant, nous comptons, à partir de ce forum, montrer aux investisseurs qu'avec le cadre juridique nouveau qui est créé par les autorités, le code des impôts qui permet aux investisseurs de venir en toute sécurité investir au Sénégal, de créer non seulement des emplois, mais surtout de donner une nouvelle définition du tourisme qui n'est pas juste le tourisme de masse, le tourisme balnéaire, mais aussi le tourisme culturel qui est fait d'échanges entre les touristes et les communautés locales. Et nous avons une histoire à raconter et c'est ce nouveau tournant que nous pensons va pouvoir faire venir les touristes, les investisseurs au Sénégal.
Votre Excellence, merci. Lubna, I'm not going to ask you to translate every word, but maybe you could give us a sense of some of the sentiments that His Excellency expressed. Lubna's getting her microphone turned on. Thank you very much indeed for doing this, Lubna.
Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you, no. Can we get a handheld microphone to Lubna, please? Thank you very much indeed. Very kind.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the authorities of the United Arab Emirates and the organizer of this exceptional forum. I'd like to salute my colleague ministers who are today in the panel. The forum reflects a beautiful dynamic of cooperation and exchange between our nations, centers around a sector full of promises and prosperity for Africa tourism. Senegal today stands among the most attractive, stable, and dynamic destinations of the African continent. A nation of peace, democracy, and openness. It offers a business-friendly environment supported by modern infrastructure and a secure legal framework and strong governance, a strong economic governance. In 2026, Senegal will have the honor of hosting the Youth Olympic Games, Dakar 2026, a historic first for the African continent. The global event offers a unique opportunity for visibility, not just for Senegal, but for all Africa. Beyond sports, Dakar 2026 will serve as a catalyst for tourism, culture, and infrastructure investment in transportation, accommodation, digitalization, and training. Will sustainably enhance the country's competitiveness as the destination. Through the National Transformation Agenda 2050, which embodies the vision of sovereign, just, and prosperous Senegal, the country aims to make tourism a high-performing sector that values biodiversity, cultural richness, artisanal ingenuity, and the potential of ecotourism. The ambition is built on developing structured regional hubs, enhancing service quality, and establishing a diverse, competitive, and sustainable tourism and handcraft offering capable of contributing significantly to Senegal's economic emergence and redefine the world of tourism.
Lubna, thank you very much indeed. If I can turn now to the situation in Kenya, to Mr. John L. Ololtuwa, CBS, Principal Secretary, State Department for Tourism in Kenya. A similar question to you, this idea of redefining tourism for growth. What have you achieved so far in Kenya in terms of doing that? And then what is the goal or the plan for the future?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
No, I don't think we can hear you. If we can pass the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me take this opportunity, first of all, to appreciate the government of UAE for this very important Africa Investment Summit, and at the same time also convey the greetings of my minister, whom I'm representing here. The question is very important on what Kenya is doing to be able to redefine tourism. There are a number of things that Kenya is doing. As you may be aware, Kenya is one of the countries that has so many touristic attractions, which range from wildlife, safari, beaches, and many other attractions. And there are a number of steps that the country is taking to be able to diversify tourism. The first one is diversifying the products. We are now focusing on a number of other products, including the cultural tourism. We're also looking at sports tourism. As you know, Kenya is well known with talent of sports people in terms of athletics and also football, and therefore we're also focusing on sports tourism, including also heritage and cultural tourism as one of the aspects that we are putting in place. Secondly, we are also investing in infrastructure, particularly to be able to host big international conferences. We are currently working on the KICC, the Kenyatta International Convention Center, to improve it to world-class standards. And we're also doing the Bomas International Convention Center, as well as encouraging the private sector to be able to put up more conference facilities. So we are looking at infrastructure in terms of conference facilities, but also in terms of roads and connectivity to make it easy for the visitors to travel. Apart from that, we're also looking at how to open the air. I mean, in other words, to be able to allow many flights to be able to fly to Kenya is one of the aspects of encouraging intra-Africa tourism, to be able to make it easy for people to travel from one country to another. As you're aware, just recently we have a number of airlines that were able to access Kenya as one of the aspects that is really making it easy for people to travel. But above that, the government of Kenya has also made it easy under the free visa regime for all the African countries can now be able to travel to Kenya visa-free. We have also introduced the electronic travel authorization, the ETA, that makes it an easy online access, that makes it easy for people to be able to travel to Kenya. And Kenya supports the single African visa, the East African visa, and all other aspects that make this easy for people to be able to travel to Kenya. But above that, we're also looking at hospitality. As you are aware that tourism cannot flourish without properly trained people. And we have as the government, we are putting a lot of effort in terms of training the hospitality staff. We have our famous Kenya Hotellerie College, Boma International Hospitality College, and many other colleges that are putting a lot of effort in training to make it easy for people to understand what they need to do. And so those are just some of the aspects that we have, but our vision is to be able to grow the numbers. And beyond the numbers that we have, by 2027, we hope to grow the numbers to more than 5 million international tourists, but also to be able to grow the domestic market, to encourage the domestic market people to travel, and also the East African region and the African region to be able to look for other markets that can be able to make the tourism industry grow in Kenya. So those are just some of the interventions that we are putting in place, but we're also investing in the digital technology. As has been said by the previous speakers, many of the young people today who travel, they use digital technology to travel. And so we are also looking at that to ensure that we improve in terms of the digital technology in marketing the brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let's turn our attention now to the story in Cabo Verde. We have the pleasure to welcome His Excellency, the Minister of Tourism and Transportation. Your Excellency, again, your take on how far you have come on this journey of redefining tourism for growth and your plans, goals, vision for what's next.
Thank you very much. I would like to greet everyone, to greet His Excellency Minister and the government of the Union Arab Emirates through the Minister of Economy and Tourism. So, Cabo Verde, a few decades ago, were a complicated country. As you know, we are a small country, archipelago, and we had a lot of challenge. And we understood early that it was necessary to invest in tourism. Our government recognized that tourism in Cabo Verde had a lot of potential. And in this sense, the government started to develop some policies to ensure that we could develop our country through tourism. First of all, it was necessary to have a good governance and to have a stability in our economy. So this was very necessary to make that the investor could trust us to invest in our country. Without trust of the investor, it will be impossible to have investment in our country. This is very important. The second one, we defined that it was necessary to diversify the tourism, not concentrate just on sun and beach. It was necessary to diversify, taking into consideration our potential. We started to develop other kind of products, look like natural tourism, culture tourism, um, blue economy tourism, which is very important because we are archipelago and you have sea and you have a potential to be developed. So we started to invest in marina in order to attract several kind of market to demand our tourism. So the third decision of the government of Cape Verde was to work close with private sector. It's very important to involve the private sector. So alone the government cannot change tourism in our country. So the partnership between private and public sector was very important. And finally, the sustainability was very important. So we ensure that our growth could be sustainable and that all the impact of the tourism development could have good for our communities, especially for our local communities. So in this sense, Cape Verde strong invest, attract foreign investment, invest in infrastructure in all the island, in all the municipalities. We create a tourism fund in order to generate revenue to invest in infrastructure, to have a sustainable financial support, not just to depend of the financing of the banks, but the government should have budget to support in a sustainable way the development of infrastructure. And in this sense, we continue to develop our infrastructure, but sustainable and financed by the tourism fund, which is a good instrument through the tourism tax which we receive from the tourist visit in our country. In this moment, we have more than 1.2 million tourists in Cape Verde, as you know, as just 500,000 people. So our objective is to increase yearly more than 12%. Last year, we increased 60.5%, and our objective is continue to invest in the future.
Thank you very much indeed. We turn our attention now to the situation in Côte d'Ivoire. It's a pleasure to have with us His Excellency Siandou Fofana, Minister of Tourism and Leisure in the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. Votre Excellence, on va poser la question en anglais. How has your country redefined tourism for growth? And what is the vision for the future going forward?
Merci. Il est important de souligner que notre pays a fait le choix d'adopter une stratégie nationale, stratégie qui a été définie en accord avec tous les membres du gouvernement et adoptée en 2018 et pour sa première génération qui prend fin en 2025. Cette stratégie vise essentiellement à réaliser trois objectifs majeurs. Et les trois finalités, c'est d'abord faire en sorte que le tourisme de notre pays contribue significativement à l'essor des territoires secondaires hors de la métropole Abidjan. Ensuite, faire en sorte que nous ayons un tourisme qui contribue fortement à la démultiplication des recettes fiscales et à la génération de valeur pour l'économie nationale. Et enfin, pour la troisième finalité, c'est de faire en sorte que notre stratégie touristique impacte fortement la création d'emplois en faveur de la jeunesse qui représente une proportion de 70% de la population. Et pour ce faire, nous avons adopté 9 grands projets qui vise à faire de notre pays la 5e destination touristique de l'Afrique d'ici 2030. Donc ce dont il est question, c'est de faire en sorte que nous soyons le hub du tourisme d'affaires, étant entendu que nous venons juste après le Nigeria, le Maroc, c'est la Côte d'Ivoire. Et nous voulons être le hub de divertissement et de loisirs de l'Afrique. Naturellement, ce à quoi nous aspirons, après que nous ayons fait des bons qualitatifs sur ces dernières années, nous sommes partis d'une stratégie qui prenait en compte le fait que le pays générait pour le secteur du tourisme, qui contribuait à hauteur de 3,5% du PIB, est passé à 8,6% du PIB. Et notre approche, c'est d'être dans la moyenne mondiale, qui est de 10% de contribution du PIB. Et donc, pour le futur, nous gérons un aspect fondamentalement qui est axé sur deux éléments essentiels. C'est de poursuivre notre démarche en faisant d'Abidjan et principalement de la Côte d'Ivoire le hub du tourisme d'affaires en Afrique au regard de notre positionnement géostratégique et profiter de notre action volontariste et au regard de l'embellie économique pour faire de la Côte d'Ivoire une plaque tournante pour le tourisme de divertissement, des loisirs, pour que nous soyons en mesure de générer suffisamment d'emplois et de multiplier les recettes fiscales pour atteindre 10% du PIB. Enfin, ce dont il est question pour le futur, nous pensons que nous sortons des élections présidentielles. Depuis hier, on a le résultat. Nous sommes confortés dans la paix et nous savons qu'il y a la stabilité qui est assurée puisque le président est réélu confortablement et le pays se porte bien, il n'y a pas de soucis. Et donc, toute chose qui conforte l'activité. Et nous venons d'adopter plusieurs mesures qui incitent les investissements. Et donc, enfin, le Four Seasons était là. Nous accueillons désormais le Four Seasons. Nous allons accueillir le Fairmont Hotel. Nous voulons être par excellence ce lieu qui accueille les établissements les plus huppés de l'Afrique sur notre sol, parce que l'économie se porte merveilleusement bien et nous voulons en tout cas faire des efforts. Aujourd'hui, nous avons la plus grande tour d'Afrique et nous voulons aussi avoir plusieurs hôtels et donc le gouvernement a pris le pari pour le futur de réaliser court sur court 10 hôtels de 5 étoiles avec des établissements de classe mondiale. Donc nous lançons un appel à tous les investisseurs. Nous sortons, il y a 5 années de stabilité encore devant nous, d'opportunités d'investissement et de grandes perspectives à saisir. Pour le futur, nous prenons un engagement ferme pour développer l'économie de notre pays. Et je termine en disant que ça fait 9 ans que je suis là en tant que ministre. Cela démontre la stabilité du pays et une politique bien suivie et bien confortée. Voilà ce sur quoi je voudrais me prononcer en attendant que nous ayons l'opportunité au cours de la table ronde d'approfondir les débats. Merci.
Merci, Votre Excellence. Lubna?
First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for the invitation. Our country have done the choice of a national strategy, which has been defined with all members of the government and adopted in 2018. The last implementation will finish, the first phase implementation is finishing in 2025. It's based on 3 objectives. First of all, the tourism of our country needs to be developing the external territories, not only the main cities. And then we're looking into multiplying the revenue generation to support the economy. And finally, the strategy needs to impact the creation of new jobs, especially for the youth, which are 70% of the Ivory population. For this, 9 big projects has been developed in the country. to turn Ivory Coast into the fifth tourism destination by 2030. We're aiming for the country to become the hub for business tourism after Nigeria and Morocco. Naturally, we have developed our tourism sector from 3.5% of the GDP to 8%, working on reaching the world 10% of GDP. For this, we've been working on two elements. We've been working on developing Abidjan, the city, and the entire country to become a hub of business tourism. Secondly, tourism, and we've been pushing on tourism and the economic growth of the country to make sure that entertainment tourism can create jobs and generate more revenue for the country. In the future, we have completed the presidential election yesterday. So we can guarantee that we're a stable country. The president have been re-elected. The country is well, which is comforting our president activities. Many measures have been put in place for investment. We have welcomed high-standing hotels, and developing the country, we want to progress where we are able to develop 5 more high-standing hotels in the country. Our government is supporting those projects. There is opportunities for investment to develop the country. And furthermore, I'd like to instate that I've been here since 9 years, which shows that the country have a certain stability which is ongoing.
Lubna, thank you very much indeed. Well, I'm afraid we are out of time on this occasion. The translation has meant we've overrun just a little bit. But I would like to offer our thanks, first of all, to Lubna for translating today. Lubna did not know she was going to be translating when she arrived this morning. Can we show our appreciation and our thanks to Lubna? Thank you very much indeed. And of course to our panelists today. Not enough time to have all the discussions we wanted, but they and their delegations are here throughout the event, and I'm sure they would love to speak to you about future opportunities in their country. So my thanks to His Excellency Amadou Ba, the Minister of Culture, Handicrafts and Tourism, Republic of Senegal. Votre Excellence, merci. To Mr. John L. Olultua, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Tourism in Kenya. Thank you to you, sir. To His Excellency Dr. Jose Luis Sanoguena, Minister of Tourism and Transport, Republic of Cabo Verde. And also to His Excellency Siandou Fofana, Minister of Tourism and Leisure, the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. Je vous remercie pour votre contribution. Thank you very much indeed. Merci. And thank you very much indeed for your contributions this morning at this event.